come on the show, and she has agreed. Callie Rosenberg, welcome to Big 550 KTRS here in St. Louis.
Thank you. How are you?
We're good. You have been heroin-free for how long?
About 82 days.
82 days. So we're going on almost 3 months now.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, are you in St. Louis now?
No, I actually live in Chicago.
You live in Chicago, but you grew up in St. Louis.
Yes, I did.
Okay. You went to Kirkwood High School?
Yeah, I went to Parkway South for 2 years and Kirkwood for 2 years.
Okay, good. Is your family still here?
Yep.
Okay. How old were you when you first tried heroin?
I was 15.
You were 15. Now,
Yeah.
was that the first drug you tried, or was that just
Oh, no. No. I was doing a lot of Xanax and a lot of cocaine before that.
How old were you when you first tried cocaine?
Probably 14.
14. So it was a year later that you first tried heroin. What was it about you being 14 years old that introduced you to cocaine?
I guess it was just the people I surrounded myself with. It started off with weed, and like when you get in that environment, there's just drugs in your face, and I just thought it was a game and just kept going and never stopped.
Yeah. Did you tell me about your family life? Was it a troubled family home life? Was it normal? Was it Leave It to Beaver type? What kind of family life did you have?
I had an amazing childhood. I grew up pretty spoiled and in a nice part of St. Louis. I played sports. I had perfect grades. I literally had a perfect childhood. My family's awesome. They've supported me through this whole thing.
So there was no runaway situation. It was just you were a kid experimenting, and your friends offered you cocaine. You tried it, and then they offered you heroin, and you said, "Sure, why not?"
As crazy as it sounds, yeah, it's kind of how it went. I loved it, and if they gave me something stronger, I did it, and I really didn't look back and crossed that line pretty quickly.
You said in your blog post that you were using heroin while in school. Tell me, were you in the bathroom when you were doing it?
Yeah, in like my junior and senior year, it was just kind of like because I didn't have to do it. Like I didn't get sick or anything. I just kind of did to feel like a little badass. And then by the time I was in college, like I would have to do it just to get through class. I was pretty useless when I was dope sick. So
how many kids in Parkway would you say were using heroin when you were there?
When I was there, I'm not sure. I was a freshman and a sophomore when I was at South, and so I was honestly pretty oblivious to it. People told me there was a heroin problem, and I was like, well, I don't know anybody on heroin.
Right. All right, so Kirkwood for your junior...
Looking back on it, I know there's so many people in that area on it.
What about Kirkwood when you were using in Kirkwood High School? Was there 5? Was there 2? Were you the only one? Was there 20? Give me a sense of what it was like.
There's not that many. Like, I was definitely one of the only ones. Another girl just overdosed and died, like, a year ago, maybe less. But it's really hush-hush there. Like, it's not something that's out in the open. So I really would say, like, 20 tops, and it's a big high school.
Yeah. How long ago did you graduate from Kirkwood High School?
I graduated in May of 2014.
So just coming up on 2 years ago.
Yep.
In your blog post, you say when you graduated from Kirkwood High School, that's all you were was a heroin addict.
Yeah.
Explain that.
You get to a certain point in addiction where it's literally all you are. Like, it's the first thing you think of when you wake up. It's the first thing you think of when you go to bed. Like, you can't do anything without functioning with it. It takes your soul, like it really does, and you lose who you are and you turn into the drug. Like, I always tell people that. They're like, where did my addict go? Like, where did my daughter go? And I'm like, well, it's not them, it's just the heroin. Like, you're gone. It's insanely scary.
Were you shooting it? Were you snorting it? Was it a pill form? I mean, how involved is this?
I started off with snorting it and ended up shooting it like a year into it. Like when I moved to Colorado after I graduated high school was when I first started shooting it, and my life got insanely bad after that.
So is I've heard that there's if you're using heroin and you're not shooting it, the other heroin addicts look down at you like you have a real problem. You have to shoot. I don't have a problem. I can just snort it.
I mean, there's definitely that thought that you can look at them and be like, oh, I'm not as bad as them because I haven't put a needle in my arm. But I don't know if I ever thought that, just because I knew what I was doing was not right. Like, I knew it wasn't normal.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried not to have that mindset.
How much money did you spend on your heroin addiction?
By the end of it,
Sure.
I like $120 a day, if not more.
Where were you getting that money from?
I was working. I had my parents giving me money that they obviously didn't know where it was going to. I got real close to the dealers just so I didn't have to pay for stuff. We're very manipulative people. We will find a way to get money or drugs.
So when you're saying you went close to your dealers, would you trade sex for drugs?
I had, but it wasn't even all that. It was just they would be like my best friends. Like, I would get really close to them and go pick up with them, and they would just throw me stuff. But yeah, I had gotten to that point.
Would you steal?
Oh yeah.
Like, what would you steal? How would you tell me? How would you look at something? I mean, would you steal a wallet from somebody? Would you steal a stereo from a store? I mean, how would you steal a phone? Take me through something like that.
Our big thing when my boyfriend and I were on the streets, we would go into like Home Depot and Lowe's and steal like sinks, because there's like $200 sinks, and he would steal it, come bring it to me. I would return it. And we would go to a gift card place, because they give you the money on a gift card if you don't have a receipt. So we'd go to the gift card place and then give us cash for the gift card. And we did that like 3 times a day, and it was like $400 each time. So it was ridiculous. You
mentioned in your blog post, Kari Rosenberg, who is a recovering heroin addict who is from St. Louis, and she's wrote a blog post that was a no-holds-barred conversation about your addiction, hoping to help others. You wrote about your boyfriend at the time and what a great and wonderful boyfriend he was, and yet in the same time in these blog posts, you would write about how you would trade sex for heroin. And so explain the mindset of this person who was so wonderful to you, and yet you would then do that with the dealers. Is that how the drug takes over?
Yeah, it is, honestly. I was in Florida, he was in St. Louis. It was a very dysfunctional relationship from the beginning. We loved each other to death, but we were just both so deep in our addiction that like we were both openly cheating on each other many times. It was I can't even explain it. People don't understand it. But yeah, when you're that deep into addiction, you don't really think about it. You just do what you got to do to get the next high, and whatever that is, you just go with it. Like, it's disgusting looking back on it, but at the time I really didn't think twice about it.
You mentioned that he was so caring and you were so caring of him and he was so caring of you that your last hit you would give one another to avoid the pitfalls of withdrawal. And so you would, as an act of love, you would give or receive this hit of heroin to stop the withdrawals.
I actually wrote the opposite.
Sorry.
He was really dope sick, and I had heroin, and I used it so I could go to bed and not deal with him. We never really shared. Like, we would get stuff, and we would split it, and we just obviously had to share because it was both of our money, but we were very stingy with it because, like, we would fight over who could go first, and it was, we really didn't help each other out when it came to that.
So, addiction versus rehab. Was it when you were going through withdrawals? Was it cheaper to get high to stop the withdrawals than it was to go to rehab?
Oh yeah, and it's a lot less work than going to rehab. Like rehab seems like the scariest thing in the world when you're using, so you just figure you might as well get high and get the withdrawals over with quicker than go to rehab for a couple months.
How many times did you overdose?
None, actually.
You never overdosed.
No,
What happened to your boyfriend?
he overdosed.
And died.
Yeah.
How long ago did he die?
He died January 27th of this year.
Is that you had already gotten clean by then?
Yeah, I've stayed clean through his death somehow, some
Yeah.
way.
Overall, how much money did you spend on your heroin addiction in the, I guess, 5-year heroin addiction you had?
I would say from, oh my gosh, like, I want to say like 50 grand, but that might be not enough. I mean, like $120 a day for like 2 years.
Right.
And then when it first started, it was like $40 a day. So it went from 40 to 120 within like 4 years.
Where were you getting the heroin from?
I mean, in St. Louis, it's pretty easy. You just go downtown and you can walk down the street and people just be like, hey, what you need? I don't know. They can kind of tell. Like, it was never difficult.
So you would just go downtown. Would you go in South County, South City, North County?
South City.
South City.
Definitely.
Where in South City would you go?
Honestly, like anywhere. Like anywhere from Grand and Natural Bridge. You can go to Goodfellow. Like, it's literally everywhere.
And you would walk down the street and they would come up to you and find you?
Yeah, or you drive around, or like you eventually get to know people and you know where to go and where they'll be.
Was there ever a time when you couldn't find heroin?
No.
So the
only time was like if I didn't have money, but in St. Louis there was never no heroin.
So the only issue you had to getting heroin was the money.
Yeah.
How did you finally get clean?
I was forced into rehab 2 times by my boyfriend and my family, and I did not want to go. And after a really bad relapse that put me on the street corner, I was disgusted with myself. I was desperate. I called my rehab begging to come back. And I went to the same rehab all 3 times, and everybody there just like saw the exhaustion in my eyes, and they knew I was done. Like, it just, you can't force somebody to go to rehab. You can't force them to get clean. They have to get clean for themselves, and I had to learn that the hard way. But I finally wanted it, and this time's just been insanely different. Like, it's been an amazing 3 months, regardless of like things that happen in between.
Are you on Suboxone? Are you on Vivitrol? What are you doing? Are you on methadone?
I actually just got on Vivitrol. I don't know why. I got it when I was like 65 days clean. Most people get it right when they get clean.
Right.
I was doing perfectly fine before that, so I honestly don't think I'm going to get it again just because it's kind of thrown me into somewhat of a depression, which is a side effect of it. But before that, I hadn't been on anything. I don't like Suboxone. I don't like methadone. So
You did it cold?
Yeah. I went to detox in August to like, because that was the worst of it. But since then, I quit by myself.
Tell us what happens when a heroin addict is going through withdrawals. What happens?
Oh, it is the most unbearable thing in the world. You cannot sit still. Your muscles ache. Like, I cannot explain. You are so hot, but you are sweating, and they're like cold sweats. So your body's freezing, but you're sweating, and it's the most disgusting thing ever. A lot of people puke. I've honestly never puked from being no sick. I don't know why. I would scream. Like, I would be in so much pain, and you don't know what to do with yourself, and you can't sleep because you don't have dope, and I don't know, it's kind of different for everybody. A lot of people go to the hospital to get fluids to help them. A lot of people get nauseous and throw up for hours. My boyfriend did. He just would throw up nonstop.
I've also heard
it
that
was heartbreaking.
I've also heard that you get severe diarrhea.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that happened to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't remember. It was August, but I was just in so much pain. Like, I was laying in my bed screaming because I didn't know what to do, and I went through withdrawals in the Atlanta airport, and it was the most horrible thing I've ever gone through in my life.
Callie Rosenberg, our guest, a graduate of Kirkwood High School, talking about her heroin addiction. She graduated 2 years ago. She's been clean 3 months. Callie, before we let you go, what do we not know? You've lived that life. You know that world. We have no concept of it. What is it that the rest of us don't know that you want us to know about heroin?
That it is not a choice. It is a disease of our mind. Like, we are completely powerless over this stuff. It is not something we just wake up one day and say, I think I'm going to be a heroin addict today, because a lot of people seem to have that mindset, and we aren't just junkies. We, like, lose our soul to this. Like, it isn't just some fun and games. It may start off that way, but that line quickly gets crossed. And for the families of addicts, it's not that we don't love you. It's just our disease. We're gone. Like, it's the heroin or the meth or the coke, whatever their drug is. Like, it's not a personal thing. I know a lot of families think, like, what did I do wrong? But it's nothing you guys did wrong. It's just who we are, and we didn't choose to be this way.
And yet you decided you were going to quit and did it on your own.
Yes, but it also took me getting clean, because when I first went to rehab, I had 50 days clean, relapse, and then I had about 3 weeks clean and relapse. So, like, once you go to treatment and understand that there is a better life and that you don't have to get high, getting high kind of sucks. At least for me.
Yeah. Callie, a dealer would tell you, be careful with this heroin. Other people are overdosing. What would you think when a dealer told you that warning about the heroin they were giving you?
At the time, it's kind of a rush, because you know it's good, and you think you're invincible. You definitely think you're not going to die when you're in the midst of a heroin addiction. Like, you just, for some reason, think that you're going to be the one who gets through it. And
so warning, you took that warning as oh, this is good stuff.
Yeah, as disgusting as that sounds.
Yeah. Wow. Are you worried about a relapse?
No.
No?
Not at this point. I can't. Like, I'm not coming back if I go out again, and I don't have that. I can't risk that.
They also say that now's the most dangerous time, because you feel like you've beaten it, you feel like you're safe, and sometimes, they say, oh, well, let me just do it one more time now that you're quote-unquote clean. A lot of people say this is the most dangerous time.
I would definitely agree with that. It's easy to get cocky right now, but I'm trying to stay very humble. I know that I don't know anything about staying sober. I need the help of my sponsor and the girls I live with. I know I cannot do this on my own. So I'm trying to stay humble about it.
Kari Rosenberg, Callie, you going to continue to write about this on your blog?
Yeah, I think I'm having somebody help me set up another blog, just to do it on my own, but I don't know. I'm still trying to get my life together. I don't want to let this consume me.
Well, we thank you for your honesty, and keep in touch. And we'd love to hear how you're going, and you'll be in our thoughts and prayers.
All right, thank you very much.
Callie Rosenberg, a heroin addict, Kirkwood High School graduate 2 years ago, telling her brutal story of her fall into addiction and her battle to get out. 9:30 here, Big 550 KTRS.